No, actually, you know, I mean, all things considered.
It's taste.
I mean, all things considered, let's move along.
It's taste, you know.
So,
And Brian Johnson, huh?
yeah, Brian's another one. Just really, you know, somebody who just does what he does and he's good at it and doesn't, you know, worry about it.
Doesn't he have? I heard that the rest of the guys write the lyrics and write the songs, and he just kind of shows up and fucking they put him in front of him and he sings.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So he just kind of
Same with Roger, for that matter. Pete writes all the stuff.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
It's Pete's
yeah.
birthday today.
Is it really? Happy birthday,
65.
Pete. One of my favorite all-time guitar players.
65, though.
Yeah.
Where did
I thought
the
he was
time go?
older.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe he is. Maybe.
Don't ever let him hear you say that. That's not a compliment.
No, I thought he was older just because, you know, it just seems like he's been around forever. But
Right.
all the old classics are all hitting the 60s, you know, somewhere in there.
It's fucked up.
Where'd you grow up?
Time does tick by.
What were your bands growing up?
Well, you know, when I was a little kid, I was born in England, so I spent
Right.
some time there, and it was all about the Who, the Beatles, the Stones, the Kinks, the Yardbirds. And then when I moved to America, then it was the Doors, you know,
Right on.
and that was like what I was growing. That was the music, the background music for my childhood. So you know, there was all that. But I mean, I was into Zeppelin when I was a kid, and Black Sabbath, and then I was into War, Isaac Hayes, you know, David Bowie, Linda Ronstadt, believe it or not, because my mom made clothes for her, Joni Mitchell, Steely Dan. I wanted to say Cat Stevens. I mean, Neil Young. Everybody. You know, it's like my musical background is really pretty wide, and pretty varied. You know,
Damn. Yeah.
because I
that's,
was raised
quite
into
diverse.
the music thing. So.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We were saying yesterday, not that it matters anymore, but one of the best rock books written by you /
My book.
Yeah, your book was amazing.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I haven't read it since I wrote it. So.
We wanted to ask you about Scott Weiland because he was in here yesterday, not in our studio, but
Perish the thought.
you guys really found out on stage that he was done with Velvet
Well,
Revolver?
you know,
because his wife said that she came in to promote her book.
Yeah, this is
Or his
how,
ex-wife,
the
whatever.
reality of what happened with that is we had
Because you guys had a good thing going.
Scott's a good guy, and I don't want to. I'm definitely not on the same kind of bitter, whatever thing that was been going on with Axl and I. But at the time, Velvet Revolver definitely had a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of them were chemical related, and that involved everybody in the band. We all went through our own thing. But with Scott, that last record during the tour, we just sort of lost him. You know, he was just out there, and so we ended up canceling Australia and Japan. And so that was it. That was the final straw. So we had a UK tour left over, and we actually auditioned people to do the tour instead of Scott. And Scott was in rehab. And then we thought, who are we kidding? We got 2 weeks till these dates come up, and if we show up in London with somebody other than Scott, they're going to be pissed.
Yeah.
So we never talked to Scott about this. So he got out of rehab. We went to the UK. We never told him a word. He was done then. So he had nothing to do with it. But there was this one show that we did where he was tripping out because he thought that the drum tech was singing along with him through his little headphone mic.
I don't mean to laugh, man.
And he was seriously convinced and pulled. There was like an Axl moment where he walked off the stage and took off into the dressing rooms while we were still playing, based on this illusion, right? So when he did finally, we went and got him and brought him back on stage, and he said, "This is the last Velvet Revolver show," and we're all going, "With you?" It was one of those kind of things. So we never said word one to him for that whole UK tour. So whatever he told you, he had no idea what was going on. And when we got to Amsterdam, after that was our last show, we went after the show was over. We put out a press release saying we were no longer working with him.
How much do you want to smack a singer, whoever it is, or when one member of the band is just fucking making it all about themselves and being a drama queen, and you're like, ugh, there's 4 of us.
I mean, but you know, all things considered, Scott's a pretty, you know, he has that side of him which was really difficult, but then the other side of him, he's really, really a cool guy. And now that I'm not in a band with him, I love him to death. But in a band with him, you know, and it's not, you know, like, I mean, he's had his issues with STP as well, where, you know, Rob and Dean are like, geez, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just the way that Scott is in the band situation. He doesn't necessarily play well with others, you know, as far as the group kind of mentality.
See, this is why Slash is going to live to be 90, because you don't stress. He's just like, there's nothing that bothers this guy.
You just go with the flow.
Yeah, man. That's a better way to live.
Yeah, no kidding. I can learn from you, Slash.
Yeah, that's all.
Hey,
That's all I put on. I'm stressed
He's
out all
boiling
the time.
inside.
last time you were in, speaking of Velvet Revolver, you were hinting that you guys were close to a new singer. Now we haven't talked to you in a while, so is that something that is done now, or you guys...
No, we're still looking.
Yeah.
There's been a couple guys that have come along that have been really good, but I'm not making any hasty decisions. I haven't, like if we're gonna do the next Velvet record, I want to make like the quintessential Velvet record. So I don't want to go picking anybody just because we're anxious,
right?
And I've been so busy, and Duff's busy, and Matt's busy, so there's no reason to make any rash decisions.
Yeah.
But at some point. Next year, I would imagine we're going to get together and really go through all the submissions that we've gotten over the last 6 months, and also see whatever new people have come along and see if we can find that thing that just clicks.
You got a short list though?
Of people to try out? No, it's a long list now.
Long list
the last 6 months we haven't done anything, so it's been piling up.
Do you get financial advice from Duff?
Well, all things considered, when Velvet was on that last tour that we did, he was really helpful and sort of like making sure, because we had really bad management with not with Irving, but some of the other people that were involved, and and trying to keep track of the financial climate in Velvet Revolver at that time was something that Duff was really on top of.
Bad shady or bad just idiots?
Actually, both.
Don't you think at this point in your career you should be able to smell bad management like a mile away?
Well, there was one person, I won't name any names, that was involved that I wanted to get rid of from the day one.
Oh, really?
She came part and parcel with one of the guys in the band, and it's just the way it was. And that probably had a lot to do with why the band got so crazy, because we couldn't stand her.
What a Spinal Tap moment that is. Holy shit.
She was like, death on two legs. Queen nailed it on the head with that one. Oh.
Hey, I want to play a song off the record and then continue with Slash. Is that cool?
Hey, okay, that's fine with me.
You want to play the single?
You can play whatever you want, but yeah.
Well, what do you want to hear? What would you like?
If you're going to play more than one song, play By the Sword first, and then we'll play something else afterwards.
All right, we'll do By the Sword, and then we'll end the show with something else.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. So it's off Slash's new CD called Slash. This is Andrew Stockdale of Wolfmother doing By the Sword with Slash.